Houston, Texas, the fourth largest city in the nation, is home to many iconic high-rise buildings with tenants representing many global corporations. In order to remain relevant and competitive in their respective market environments, all commercial property management companies must keep up with exterior wall maintenance and window cleaning activities on a regular basis to maintain the integrity and aesthetics of the buildings. CBRE takes great pride in their properties and recognizes the inherent dangers in servicing high-rise facades, which requires the utilization of suspended swing stage equipment. CBRE's desire is to ensure that all exterior wall maintenance activities are conducted under the safest working conditions and in strict compliance with all federal OSHA regulations, as well as all applicable industry standards of care. Equally as important is the need to provide the most cost-effective means in providing access for these maintenance activities for our owners. The best way to provide both safe and cost-effective exterior wall access is to utilize a dedicated Permanent Building Maintenance Unit, or BMU.
Stone and Glazing Consulting, we specialize in all facets of exterior wall. We feel that provides us with a better sense of understanding what a worker itself who is really using this piece of access equipment months on end to maintenance the building, what type of challenges they're going to face or any issues they might have, just best practices, if you will. We look at it as if we were going to be maintaining the exterior facade of any given building. What would make it easier, and easier in access means safer.
Having this new window washing rig, this new building maintenance unit will help us access the exterior of these buildings. As you know, we're doing a lot of major cleanup on a lot of our floors, which requires to take out windows and install window templates for our neg air machines. And this is going to cut our costs just on those projects in half.
A global leader in commercial high-rise building management, CBRE, along with their independent consulting firms, Stone and Glazing Consulting, and Walter P. Moore Engineering, undertook a massive effort to simultaneously implement a safe and effective means to access the exterior walls on two high-rise towers in downtown Houston, each with their own unique challenges. The result was the procurement of two custom BMUs manufactured by Mantech North America that will permanently reside on the roofs of these two towers for many years to come.
The prime driver of this project was the destruction of the existing building maintenance units on the roof of each building in a hurricane years ago. We put a project together and we put it in front of ownership. Ownership was very interested in worker safety and compliance with all laws, and they approved this project to move forward. Some of the unique design elements associated with this project are, well, we wanted to put a perimeter track system in both buildings, but the unique structural nature of Fulbright Tower forced us to go to a crane system at the core, telescoping square tube to gain access to the exterior of Fulbright Tower. One of the challenges associated with this project is that we're lifting these units onto the roofs of these buildings with a helicopter, and with that comes certain FAA regulations that force us to secure the top 3 floors of each building that the copter flies over. If a skywalk, if the copter's flying over a skywalk, it needs to be closed. So that means we've had to go visit our neighbors and make sure that everything was secure as it relates to this. This helicopter can lift 25,000 pounds, and we're probably going to put about 20,000 pounds on it.
The CBRE team of professionals and independent consultants successfully executed the process of structural feasibility, preliminary design approval, development of the bid documents, and conducted equipment manufacturer interviews before awarding 2 contracts. One for the structural upgrading of the existing buildings, and the second for the design, supply, installation, and commissioning of the 2 BMUs. The first contract was awarded to Contract Fabricating Services, Houston, Texas. The second contract was awarded to Mantech North America, a wholly owned subsidiary of Mantech GmbH, based in Germany. These two projects were required to work together seamlessly for the project to be successful.
Well, at Fulbright Tower, we'll be able to wash our windows again, which we haven't been able to do in a while. That will help with tenant relations. And being able to just have the ability to safely be able to maintain the exterior facade of the building and the windows will be key to us.
Once the equipment arrived in the United States from Mantech's manufacturing facility in Munich, the next task was implementing the months of planning that went into transporting the units to the roof of the two towers. With all of the items being too large and heavy for transport to the roof using the freight elevators, the project team needed a creative way to move these large parts to the roof for assembly. Here is how they did it.
The area, we are blocking 15 blocks of downtown Houston, fourth largest city in America, and it affects every one of our buildings, and not just those buildings, but all our neighbors. So each manager has taken on the task of meeting with their neighbors, so to speak, other managers in other buildings, securing their cooperation for this project, and pleased to say that all the other building managers realize this thing has to happen from time to time and have been very cooperative with us.
Erickson Air Crane was contracted by Mantech to lift the heavy parts, some weighing nearly 20,000 pounds, to the roofs of these two towers. Total tonnage of equipment lifted was in excess of 160,000 pounds. This was a massive operation, filled with unknowns and potentially dangerous conditions for the project team, workers, and the surrounding structures as well. A temporary helicopter base of operations, including a fuel depot, was mobilized for all of the lifting and material staging activities in a parking lot adjacent to the two towers. Light poles had to be temporarily removed from the parking lot to accommodate the temporary helicopter base and need for staging areas for the massive BMU components.
Sterile area. We've created a sterile area. We've drawn lines in the...
Each day during the helicopter lift, activities started with a 6 a.m. mandatory safety meeting for all personnel involved. Additional safety protocols were established for rooftop safety, following all applicable OSHA regulations. Special attention was given to all aspects of worker safety and OSHA-compliant personnel protection equipment, including the requirement for all approved personnel stationed within the sterile area to wear hard hats with chin straps, eye and ear protection, and high-visibility safety vests. A 15-block radius around the subject buildings was shut down, utilizing barricades with over 30 Houston police officers and dozens of building security officers to create a sterile zone of safety during the helicopter lifting activities. The top 3 floors of all buildings and all sky bridges within the sterile zone were closed off, all in an effort to mitigate any unforeseen and unexpected potentially dangerous situations. Safety was the primary concern throughout the lifting process. Mantech North America's project team worked together with helicopter pilots, ground and roof support crews to coordinate safely attaching each of the many strategically weighted payloads under the watchful eyes of the CBRE and stone and glazing consulting teams, while the project's rooftop rigging crews received and assembled these large pieces of equipment as they were delivered onto the pedestals installed by Contract Fabricating Services. Walter P. Moore Engineering was consulted prior to the lifting activities to coordinate the temporary placement of the heavy loads onto the roof to ensure that the existing roof structure was not overloaded during the process. The plan set forth by the project team was to complete the lifting activities in 2 days. Due to fog delays on both days restricting helicopter operation and a delay with the helicopter rigging, the lifting activities were completed in 2.5 days. In the end, the CBRE project team, consisting of Stone and Glazing Consulting, Walter P. Moore Engineering, Mantech North America, Contract Fabrication, and Erickson Air Crane, successfully completed the task of design, procurement, and installation of 2 new BMUs simultaneously that will serve as permanent fixtures on the Houston skyline for many years to come.